You ready for it? It's the 805 post show coming at you. Day number 2. Lexus Pipe Pro presented by YETI. North Shore Oahu, the Mecca, the proving grounds. A little bit difficult today. Lots going on. We saw some eliminations happening. Some upsets perhaps. We're going to discuss them all here at the 805 post show. I'm Kaipo Guerrero, along with Felicity Flick Palmateer. Ross Williams, you know him. He's been in the water all day. Lots of knowledge. And we're going to talk, well, first, Flick, I want to start. Ladies first.
Thank you.
Impressions of today, day number 2 here at Pipe.
Well, it was the best day we've had in the last week, that's for sure. Really smooth, glassy conditions in the morning. Wind kicked up a little bit in the, that midday section, but we saw overall every heat there was at least one good tube that sort of came through, and it was capitalized on. And you know what? It was a good day of surfing.
Kind of, yeah. And good day of surfing. Most of the results right, but it was a little shocking that last heat of the day for 2, I think, that were going to be standouts here. Molly Picklum, Erin Brooks, Ross. And before we get into that, because we've been pumping up fantasy so much, don't do what I did. Didn't have time. It locked at the round of 16. I had both Erin and Molly on my team, and that's what you don't do because you get friendly fire in the round of 16, which is really bad. Way too early for your own surfers to take themselves.
What about your power surfer, Lego?
I'm scared to look at it right now because I forgot if I switched it from, I think I switched it back to Caity Simmers. But there was no time for me to do it, Ross, because we called the heat, and then it rolled right into that round, so I didn't have. That's my excuse.
It's tough. It's a tough job we got.
It was a tough job for Erin Brooks because I picked her as a favorite when we talk about that heat number 8 in the round of 16.
Yeah, well, that's competing on the North Shore in a nutshell. You know, you have to really be adaptable, and the conditions today were nice. You know, it was offshore. We had a return of some conditions that we're used to seeing, but with that northeast swell direction, it is challenging, and you have to be really crafty. I was really impressed with Molly. She had a couple of nice hits right here in the end, but also with Caity Simmers, she sat really high on the sandbar. She kind of identified where those best waves were, and today's the kind of day where it's classic North Shore. You really have to know where to sit and be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, Erin just, you know, has got all the talent, but was having a hard time finding waves out there.
Yeah, I think wave selection for Erin in the end kind of was what undid her, and she had a crack here. This was the last roll of the dice. It only came through at a 5, and obviously not getting the score. She's going to be a bit bummed, but Molly's stoked. Obviously, she wants to get the win here. Finishing second to Caity last year was probably hard to swallow. So, yeah, ended Erin's campaign today, but she needs to hold her head up high. I mean, she's been putting on good performances out here over the winter, and she's got the rest of the, 6 events before the cut.
I still think she's one of the best in the world, Erin Brooks, but this is a shocking moment, Ross, when you're at the pointy end of everything, and these are the best in the world. When she usually waltzes through heats, not so much on the CT.
Yeah, but she's got Molly. You know,
yeah.
Molly's a beast. She's crazy. So that was always going to be sort of a coin toss for me. But you're right. Erin is, she's the buzz, right? She's the flavor, and everyone's talking about her, and it's warranted because she's so good. But she had a tough time adapting. I was over on the Red Bull Athlete Zone during her heat, and there were good waves. But that being said, I know today was difficult. It was hard to find the right waves. You really had to be open-minded and shift just a little towards off the wall, then maybe paddle, fight that current, get back towards gums, and they missed a few waves there in that heat.
Yeah, you identified that some missed opportunities there.
From the comfort of my stool, sipping on a Red Bull, I saw some good waves.
This is where the smartest surfing happens.
Exactly.
Is when we're sitting here high and dry, and we can armchair it and discuss all of the options as we see it.
Oh yeah, that and hindsight's 20/20, isn't it?
It is.
I'm a good air surfer from this chair.
Yeah.
I can boost.
Well, I'm an expert in all surfing from this chair, but yeah. Anyway, you know who did the real surfing today? Took out the last heat of the day and into the quarterfinals is Molly Picklum. Molly is with AJ.
Thanks, Kaipo. Molly, still bringing the heat here late in the day at Pipeline. Walk me through what the biggest difference was for you in this round of 16.
Yeah, I think the waves kind of kept cleaning up. I actually saw Isabella Nichols, she got a bomb and a couple sick rides going down, so I was all fired up. And then I got out there and there was still some sick waves. I had a couple. It's always hard with those non-priority heats and then you go into priority because you see some waves that you just want to go into, but you can't like commit and then someone drops in on you. So there was a couple unridden gems that I saw that I was just like, oh, I'd so love to have a crack at that. But yeah, obviously so happy to have just got it done. Turns or barrels, whatever, I'm stoked to be making heats.
It seems like you are somebody who just thrives on the adrenaline and the fight and the tenacity that you have to bring to each of these heats. I'm remembering Pipe last year, Sunset last year. How much have you just learned to thrive in the chaotic conditions that seem to come your way most of the heats?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know, I just love it. It's just like fun. And it's definitely, I'm learning that I definitely love that chaotic scenario because it just probably matches me and my personality, to be honest. So yeah, I just feel like right at home when it's all crazy out there.
Right at home and on to the next round. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks everyone who's tuned in today. We're so happy that the waves panned out.
Back to you, Kipes.
Yeah, I mean, once you get past a difficult heat like that, Flick, I feel that that's a great momentum for Molly Picklum. So close to being a pipe champ last year. It looks like she's really on her way this year.
Yeah, for sure. I've got to echo what you just said. I mean, coming up against Erin, that heat to me on paper in that round of 16 was like, wow, I can't wait to call this. And Molly just, yeah, I guess she said it herself. She kind of thrives in those situations where she's like, bit chaotic, okay, I've got to bring my best here. And against Erin, she had to bring her best, and she did, adapted, and she did well.
Yeah, you know what, Ross? We were looking at another heat that was incredible where we had two former pipe champions. I'm talking Caity Simmers against Moana Jones-Wong. That was heat number 5 in this round of 16. This was one to look forward to. Caity almost let it get away from her, Ross, but as champs do, she performed right at the very last few minutes of this heat.
Yeah, she's so cool because she's got a lot going on with what she's good at. She's good at being stylish. She's good at being casual. She finds the right waves at the right time. She knows really how to dial in surf spots. Even though she's so young, she's just a little grommet, and she's already figured out pipe for the most part. So she really adapted well because her strategy actually got blown out, literally. The current went right through the best part of the lineup where Caity was looking until the last, what was this, maybe 8 minutes left, and she finally found this wave. Up until then, Moana was surfing a smart heat. She had a couple of nice snaps. She was really competing well, but Caity got that wave she was looking for.
Yeah, Moana got a great right. She got a decent left. She was in the driver's seat, but then 8-point ride. Caity Simmers, Flick.
That's why she's a world champ, you know, and the pressure was on for her. I mean, she's up against the ropes, event wildcard, Moana, she's won out here before, and like you said, Ross, she was putting together a smart heat, and when that opportunity presents itself and the wave comes towards you, there's a lot of pressure there to be like, wow, I kind of need to do something here. I need a big score, and I mean, she well and truly put it away. The 8-point ride up until that point was, well, yeah, one of the highest scores of the day.
Yeah, here we go with the bracket. There's 8 remaining, the quarterfinals. You got a favorite here, Ross?
Yeah, I think Caity is, you know, by far the favorite in this draw. That being said, Molly is a smart competitor. She's really, you know, she's always going to find her scores. Isabella was pretty feisty, finding that big score, you know, so far today, the biggest score of the day. So look out for her. That can carry a lot of momentum.
You got a favorite quarterfinal out of these 4, Flick?
Wow, I think I'm just going to go with quarter 4. I'm going to go Breesa Molly. I think Brees has come a long way with her surfing in sort of consequential waves in the last couple of years. And then I just can't go past Molly because on paper last year, she was destined to win. You know, the wheels semi fell off in that final against Caity. And I mean, potentially, if things were to go that way, semi-final could actually be a rematch if Caity was to advance and if Molly was to advance.
That's true.
So,
I like quarterfinal number 1 because I think like there's a sleeper right there with Lakey Peterson and Isabella Nichols. You already said it. She put up the biggest score for the women so far out here in this competition. So I like checking out quarterfinal number 1 with those two. All that action is going to continue, but let's take a look at what happened with our men's as we got into our men's elimination round. Bit of a surprise in this one, Ross. Alejo Muniz, Jackson Bunch, Yago Dora.
Yeah, I was in the water in this heat, and I was trying to kind of set up a Yago Dora and a Yago Dora 2.0 with Jackson Bunch. Everyone's been talking about Jackson, much like Aaron Brooks. You know, he's one of those real exciting rookies that's going to make potentially a huge splash on tour this year. We didn't mention Alejo at all, and of course, he found that first barrel. He is, you know, back on tour, but he's a veteran. He's been on tour for a long time, and I'm sure that felt really good. You know, Alejo knew that all the hype was on Jackson
Yeah.
and Yago, and he came and smashed it.
And you know what's the beautifully symbolic thing? You saw Alejo Muniz come up and hug his coach, Adriano de Souza. And I think when you talk about Alejo, you talk about Adriano, you talk about two surfers that have been underestimated in their surf career, but still have been able to achieve it.
Yeah, for sure. And that heat's going to feel so good for Alejo. He kind of said it in the post-heat interview. I can't remember if it was with Strider or AJ, but he just sort of was like, you know, my first heat, it just was, I had a shocker. And then just to actually get, you know, the ball rolling and to advance and to feel good in the heat, it just, I don't know, kind of take a sigh of relief.
So Alejo and Jackson Bunch advanced out of that heat, and Jackson Bunch advanced into this heat in the round of 32. Ross, heat number 5, where he's going to be coming up against the ultimate rookie test. It's the old rookie against world champ clash.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one for Jackson. John's just having a free roll here in this event. He's got no pressure on him. It's the only event he's going to do all year, so you know, and the waves are going to get better too. We got the sand slowly but surely disappearing. John at Backdoor is a tough matchup for Jackson, so he's going to have to pull off like a flip or something at pipe.
Well, he does flips.
He does.
Jackson does flips. And what my thing with Jackson Bunch is, this is it, kid. This is your chance. This is your time to make a big statement in professional surfing. You come on the rookie, you beat the defending world champ.
I thought you were going to break into an Eminem rhyme right there. You got one shot.
Yeah, it is. It's one shot, Flick. It's one shot.
Hey, we did see him have that crazy buzzer beater moment. Was it last year?
It was last year, yeah.
It was last
in
year.
Heat number 1, yeah.
Heat number 1. I mean, that was an incredible performance. There was so much pressure. He needed to score and had that crazy buzzer beater moment at pipe. And it was just, look, he's capable. But it is a very, very hard task, I will say that.
Jackson Bunch, you can do it, okay? Can't wait for that to happen. What's the playing field going to look like for that? Well, let's find out, Ross, because we dialed in Surfline, and here is our Surfline forecast.
Yeah, well, we got through today, and we have that major northeast swell. It was kind of a big event. I mean, there was even big waves all along the east side of the island. I mean, Kaipo, you know how that is. That's pretty rare. What's that, like once a year we have these east swells? But that is cleaning up and giving way to a much more favorable northwest direction. We're going to hopefully see that sand disappear. We don't have a huge swell, but I don't mind that. And even with a little bit of that residual north swell, we could get some big old A-frames. So I'm pretty optimistic here these next 3 days.
Oh, purple right there, Flick. Looks good. It's Friday, Saturday.
Oh, Friday and Saturday, absolutely on the cook. Tomorrow, too, of course, we're going to come down. We're going to have a look. I mean, it's offshore 4 to 6 foot, but Friday, Saturday, I mean, Friday's the day, right? I mean, look at that, 8 to 12 foot, offshore all day. I mean, we've waited a long way, but I think it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, I love all the forecasts, but of course, we're going to be here early in the morning, every day, the remaining. And hey, could surprise us. The Pacific, like some of these swells have overperformed. So tomorrow could be a go day. Let's review today with the Eero top 5 moments of today. We got some moments to go over for you. Started at number 5. Hasn't been in the elimination round, Ross, ever at Pipe. And Griffin Colapinto met that challenge.
Yeah, I like Griffin's energy out here at Backdoor and Pipe. He's really, he has a lot of tenacity. He looks around, he doesn't just chill. And today required that kind of action. He really needed to be open-minded and look for waves up and down the sandbar. I was in the water during his heat, and yeah, he was constantly searching for scores, and it paid off for him.
Number 4 in the elimination round, Betty Lou Sakura Johnson, Flick. She went big with this 717.
Yeah, she did, and she actually went big. There was not much time left in the heat, and she needed a score. She did just that. She took off on one of the bigger media waves of the day, 2-turn combo, dropping that 717.
Sawyer Lindblad, number 3, Ross. Backhand attack.
Sometimes on your backside, things get simplified. You know, you just look for that section and crack it. So Sawyer throwing out a little bit of a smoke screen on that one. Nice snap.
She's going to be meeting up against her good friend and childhood rival, Caity Simmers, in the quarterfinals. Those two have been surfing against each other since they were in single digits, 9 years old, 8 years old. Sorry, Lynn, back on to come up. Number 2, speaking of Caity Simmers, Flick, Caity Simmers.
World champ, doing world champ things. I mean, she was up against the rope. Moana was putting together a nice heat, and this wave came, only a few minutes left in the heat. Biggest wave of the heat so far, biggest barrel, and then finished it off with a couple of turns. Just, I mean, that's world champ surfing right there. One of the highest.
And number 1, Ross, Isabella Nichols, 867 for this gem.
Yeah, nice throaty, like pretty ledgy sandbar section right there. We've been watching those waves on the top, and Isabella did a really good job taking off steep and deep, and she got pitted.
Good stuff. Coach Reynolds Hayes, always giving the... We'll give you some aloha here. Final thoughts, Flick?
I'm really excited to see what the next couple of days bring, because today was good. We made the most of it with what we had, but with that northwest filling in and a bit more bump in the swell, let's see it.
What do you got for me, Ross?
I think it's interesting. You know, I love watching Marty when there's big decisions to make. He's got that little sweat on his lip, and he's all psyching. And the funny thing is, I think tomorrow will probably be better than today.
Yeah.
We got through a grindy day today, but then you have Saturday as that little carrot, because Saturday's going to be really good too. The cool thing is we got 3 fun days of surf coming up. We're going to see some surfers get barreled.
Yeah, we can pick and choose. We got plenty of time at the end of the window right now. Remember, check in tomorrow morning, Hawaii time, 7:45. We'll be making the call for the Lexus Pipe Pro presented by YETI. Until then, I say aloha and ahui ho.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.